Thank you, Walter. Governor DuPont, you attended a meeting today in which the vice presidential nomination was the subject. Ronald Reagan was in the room. Who else was there?
We had Senator Tower from Texas, Senator Strom Thurmond, another governor, Charlie Thone of Nebraska, and Congressman Bob Michael and Congressman Bob Bauman, kind of a spectrum geographically and philosophically.
And George Bush was talked about more than any other candidate?
We talked with Governor Reagan a great deal about the possible choice of a running mate. George Bush was discussed in depth, and quite an analysis was done of his candidacy.
And Ronald Reagan asked questions about George Bush. What's his concern? Why not go to Bush if Ford isn't going to do it?
Well, he asked a great many technical questions about how we would handle this issue and that issue in the campaign in a manner of a man who is very much leaning in that direction and wanted to discuss the political pros and cons.
Is it true that, candidly, that Mrs. Reagan is the problem? That she doesn't dislike George Bush, but she just doesn't feel he's the strongest candidate?
I can't speak to that. That kind of thing did not come up at the meeting.
Do you think it's George Bush?
I would say that as of noon today, things were very definitely moving in that direction.
Walter, a man who was in the room with Governor and hopeful presidential nominee Ronald Reagan today.
Does Governor DuPont, Dan, have any comment on the Ford boomlet? He is one of the governors, and there was talk about a governor draft Ford movement.
Walter Cronkite asked about reports that there's a governor's movement to draft Gerald Ford. Do you know anything about that? Was that discussed today?
Every one of us in that room, Dan, feel that Jerry Ford would make the best possible ticket with Governor Reagan. I believe that ticket would sweep every region of the country, every philosophy. That would be the best. But a lot of us don't really feel that President Ford would be willing to do that.
Would you be amazed if Gerald Ford changed his mind and finally said, well, I'll do it for the good of the party and the country?
I'd be delighted. I don't know whether I'd be amazed or not, but I wish he'd do it because he'd make a whale of a candidate.
Have you talked to Gerald Ford about it?
I talked to him some months ago about it, urged him to do it. I've not talked to him since I've been at the convention.
Did that subject come up in the room today?
Yes, it did, and there was some discussion of it, and the feeling was it would be harder to get Jerry Ford to accept than it would be to get Ronald Reagan to offer him the job.
Strom Thurmond, did he back George Bush?
I think